Linda here, the Scrapbooking Photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. It's been a hot minute since I was last here, and thank you if you're retuning in. Thank you if you're new to my channel. All subscribers are most welcome, and I particularly thank those of you who have subscribed during my absence over the last couple of months. It's been a busy old time. So today I am launching back in with the 30 days of sketches and the Stamp and Stencil Savvy hop. This is our sketch for day 6 of the 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. So the sketch is by Stacey Delong, and it's just perfect for what I wanted to do with these photos. I'm going to use a couple of images that I took on a recent celebratory high tea that I went to for the Embroidery Guild I'm a member of. So those are the two photos that I'm going to use, and I have cut that one down a little bit because it was just more pavement in the front. And I'm going to use a white page as a backstop, and then as per the sketch I'll use the gold on the bottom right, and I will cut it across there. Not a particularly precision cut, but it gives us that much of the paper to use somewhere else. I'm just going to mark this piece of mossy meadow where I need to rip it, and it's two-tone cardstock from Stampin Up. So I need to be careful to rip it the right way so that I get the white core showing through. So I'll angle it down towards my other pencil mark here. And that's pretty much the shape I want, and it covers up beautifully. So that's the piece I'm going to do my embossing on. Now I need a piece of paper to put underneath it to catch the drips. And before doing any embossing with powder, it pays to just rub over your surface with this chalk packet. So just a little pillow of chalk pillow patch is what I call it. Anyway, so that will stop the static attracting stray pieces of embossing powder and having bits of gold where you don't want them. Now I've collected 3 sets of stamps from 3 stamps from 2 different sets. So I've got these 2 from the Stipple Roses set from Stampin' Up, and also this one from the Year of Flowers. And I have covered the month here, it's flower for June, so I've covered that up because it's not relevant in this instance, but it may come through, but we have a way to fix that anyway. So what I'm going to do is ink these up with the glue. So you can either put the stamps on top of the glue or the glue on top of the stamps, it doesn't matter. And then we'll stamp that. And oh, it came off, that's alright, we'll tidy it up before we stamp it. It's obviously not going to work. Now the thing with the glue is that you can't really see, unless you get the light on the right angle, where you have put the glue. So it's just a matter of working around it, and I'll have some going off the edge. So the theme for this celebration was gold, because it was a 50-year celebration, and also it was rose or gold or yellow. So we were invited to take part in a challenge and make a piece of embroidery that had a yellow rose or gold or the numbers 50 or all of the above. So I took part in that, and I'll show you what I embroidered in a different video. I'll be doing these pages a little bit over the next little while to get them in the album. So a good healthy sprinkle of the embossing powder, because anything we don't use can be collected up and put back in the jar. And then holding on to a place where there isn't any glue, we can just shuffle the powder around to get a good coverage over where we've stamped. It's a little bit messy, but that's okay. So any excess can be sprinkled back onto the table. Then I've got a little brush where I can just go through and tidy up anything that's there that I don't want. For example, where that month has come through. I really don't want the June on there. I'll just go through and remove those bits off each area. Right, so I think that's all ready to dry now, but I'll just pop it to one side because it pays to tidy up first, because what I don't want is for the heat from the heat gun to affect all of this beautiful leftover powder that we can scoop up and pour back into the bottle. Alright, so now that's safe. Get our gun out and dry it. So that's all nice and dry and ready to go on top of our page. So if we bring it back in here, see the effect that it can have. I'll stick those two down, and these are going to come in here with a little bit of background behind them as per the sketch. I just wanted to get a little bit of a feel for what's going to go around them. And I've got these other two photos that I took just of the decorations. So I'm actually going to fussy cut around these, because we don't need the iron rail, the handrail of the ramp going into the room. We don't need that in the photo. So these beautiful gold balloons and gold leaves were decorating on the outside of the room and on the inside when we got in there. So now I've got these two cut out. This one works really well up covering the line of the photos where they join here, and this one comes in nicely from the side. I want to bring something lighter in there, and the three light colours I've got is the Very Vanilla, Crumb Cake or Basic Beige, and I think the Very Vanilla is too much like the background there, so I'll discount that. This one could work quite well, I think. Give it a go, although it is quite dull, whereas the Basic Beige is just a bit in between. So I've decided I'm going to go with Basic Beige. Right. And we had some really experienced embroiderers in the room. It was really quite something to have so many clever hands in the one place. Using the marker alphabet from Close to My Heart, I'm going to add in the numbers 50 and also the letters down here, WEG. Now WEG stands for Waikato Embroidery Guild, and the journaling will explain that to anybody who wants to read it, and they just fit. Now, rather than embossing them, I'm just going to stamp them in this mossy meadow so that brings a little bit more of that paper colour in. I'll pick them up on the silicone block because that's exactly where we want them. Make sure we've got some good coverage of the ink, and then hold our tongue the right way and cool. Same with these ones down the bottom. So I'll just pick them up where I want them to be, put the ink on and come back to stamp them. Slightly glossy paper, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. Should have thought about that before I did it, shouldn't I? Oh, that's actually quite cool. Right, so I want to use this piece down here is a little bit of a journaling box, and I thought I'd make it like a notepad just as a nod to the sketch because I have changed things a little bit. So these are the Extraordinary Life dies from Stampin' Up. What I'm going to do is cut it to there and then make it slightly longer. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll cut it to there and then I can pop that through, and then it will just give me that oh, now this is two-sided crumb cake. Which side do I want? I think I want the darker side. So that side, and so that will give me the notebook look on that side. And then when we take it off, it hasn't cut the end, so we've got that piece of paper which we can just slip in under there. So I want it a little bit shorter, so I'll cut a bit off the edge, but it's certainly longer than what it was going to be otherwise. Right, so I'll stick that in there, using those diamonds to line everything up nice and straight. Do a little bit of journaling there. So journaling's done. I've just got this little piece of washi tape which I'm going to add, if I can get the back of it off. Right, so last but not least, a little bit of bling. I've just got some sequins that I'll pop in different places, just the gold ones. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this page come together. It was a great sketch. Thank you very much, Stacey. And it is the great start to documenting this wonderful event. And there we are. So there is my page for Stampin' Stencil Savvy. No stencils this month, but stamps and embossing was the ingredient to add. So I've done that with the embossing here of the gold roses and petals. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you push that subscribe button. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next time, and happy crafting.